Hi, my name's Max, and for my Stackathon I created a simple 8-track sequencer. Or rather, it's more of a dual sequencer. You see one up here, one down here. A little background about me, I've always been an electronic musician, and so when I got into coding I thought it would be really fun one day to make a simple browser-based instrument. So I used ToneJS and NexusUI. ToneJS is a library that is a wrapper around the native web audio API. It's very useful for creating sequencer interfaces, managing the transport time, creating synthesizers, etc. And NexusUI is just a handy library for creating things like dials and sliders and boxes. So I guess I'll start with this quick demo, and then I'll talk a bit about the features and how it was like putting this together. All right, so here's a random assortment. I don't know what this is going to sound like, but all right, so not a very musical pattern, but you can see that it works. The way that this is set up is that we have two sequencers that are tied to the same transport. Transport in musical interface terms is the thing that controls the timing of the application. So this is basically a one-bar loop that's just running over and over again. And if you look closely, you can see there's a kind of notifier that runs across the matrix, which tells you which step you are at. And if a cell is colored, that's going to tell the sampler to start playing that particular sample. Now, ideally, this would be dynamic in terms of sample selection. I had to hard code just some basic audio samples that are from my library into this. But I'll get into the difficulties of that in a second. The other functions that are going on here is you have a volume control on the left for the top sampler and a volume control on the right for the bottom. So if I have an assortment of, if I have a sequence running in the top, I can increase this. And then there's a basic BPM control in the center, which controls the transport tempo. That's the basic functionality of this app. I really wish I could have hooked up these EQ dials and implemented some other effects, because the ToneJS library allows for a lot of dynamic effect routing, and you can make delays and reverb and a lot of regular kind of studio application modules, but didn't quite have time for that in this situation. And yeah, that's it.